Good morning and welcome to the What's Up News Network, being broadcast from Panama City Beach, Florida, the home of the world's most beautiful beaches. I am Jim Free with Jim Free Realty. Please help me out this morning and click on the red subscribe button just below the picture. My Uncle Hiram lived on his farm in Booger Holler, Georgia. He had a large pond on the back 40 and he had properly shaped it for swimming, fixed it up with nice picnic tables, horseshoe courts, and some apple trees and peach trees. One evening, Hiram decided to go down to the pond and pick some peaches. He grabbed a 5-gallon bucket and headed off to the pond. As he neared the pond, he heard voices shouting and laughing with glee. As he came closer, he saw it was a bunch of young women skinny dipping in his pond. He made the women aware of his presence, and they all went to the deep end. One woman shouted to him, "We are not coming out until you leave." Hiram frowned. "I didn't come down here to watch you ladies swim naked or to make you get out of the pond naked." Holding the bucket up, he said, "I'm here to feed the alligators." You just got to love some of these old guys that they can still think fast. In the national news, my advice to the mayors and governors of these troubled cities and states is for them to get out of the way and let their law enforcement agencies handle the problem. The law enforcement agencies are trained to handle mobs and criminals and likely have hundreds, if not thousands, of years of combined experience in handling criminals. The politicians likely have no or little experience in how to handle these thugs, so they try to appease them, which never works. I speak from some experience in this area, having served in law enforcement for 37 years. I've been in right situations, at least enough to know what works and what doesn't work. And I'm old enough to have witnessed the violence that spread across this country in the 60s. Lately, we've heard the terms like socialism, communism, Black Lives Matter, Antifa, fascism, skinheads, alt-right, and other radical groups, but probably know very little about them and what motivates them and who sponsors them. They all have one thing in common, and that is to destroy capitalism and this country. Modern terrorism springs from seeds planted in the 1960s with groups like the Black Panthers, the Weathermen, the Ku Klux Klan. These names change, but the goal is the same, and that is to destroy capitalism, to install socialism in our government, and to ultimately have the country controlled by communist government. Some of these groups adopt names like Black Lives Matter, and corporations, athletes, entertainers, the media all fall over themselves to give support and finance to these organizations, thinking that Black Lives Matter organization actually cares about black lives. Who do you think would support these organizations? How about China, Russia, Cuba, and Iran? Would they support both the right-leaning and the left-leaning organizations? The answer is yes, because they're not interested in helping any of these groups. Their goal is to destroy the family, destroy the church, destroy capitalism, and destroy this country. We know a lot about the goal of the communists because of the life of a young black man named Manning Randolph Johnson. Manning was born in Washington, D.C. in 1908. He was raised in a Christian home and was a bright young man, but a bit on the rebel side. Manning was introduced to the Communist Party by a communist bishop in the Episcopal Church, William Montgomery Brown. In 1932, Manning was trained at the National Training School, which was a secret communist training school. Manning was a rising star in the party and he thought that the goal of the Communist Party was to improve the lives of the blacks in the United States. He soon learned that the only interest that the party had was to pit blacks against whites and whites against blacks. His job was to agitate both sides, to help plant the tentacles of Communist Party in the media, Congress, churches, colleges, entertainment, labor unions, and even the Supreme Court of the United States. If someone openly opposed the party, they would label them as racist, bigots, or have them compromised by prostitutes and then blackmail and in some cases murder the opposition. The party made one mistake with Manning. They failed to understand his Christian roots. When the party tried to subvert the black churches, he revolted. Manning said that most of the blacks, especially in the South, could not be converted because they believed the good book, and if what the party was trying to sell did not line up with the Bible, it must be from the devil. After surviving 9 years in the party, Manning withdrew and spent the remaining years fighting communism and testifying against 18 to 20 top communists in the United States. I invite you to read Manning Johnson's book, Color, Communism, and Common Sense. It will give you a good background into what is happening now. Also, you can look, if you want the short version, look at Wikipedia, or if you want to see his final farewell statement, it's on YouTube, and just go to Manning Johnson final farewell statement, and you will see what he thought of some of the organizations and the Communist Party. We're at a crossroads at this point in our country. We have several people running for office that openly say they're socialist. We have a capitalist running, and we have a choice to make. If you want to continue to have freedom in this country and have the ability to succeed and live the dream in this country, then you need to be aware that the socialists will take that away from us. Socialists will give us bigger government and less freedom, and ultimately there will be attempts to change this to a communist country. We have an important election coming up in November. It's imperative those who love freedom, love the Lord, and want to be able to continually, openly worship together, then they need to make sure that their vote counts. And I urge every Christian to make sure they vote, make sure they share this information with people on their social media sites, and get the vote out, because that is very important if we want to keep this as a free country. Thank you for watching this video, and until we meet again, may God bless you and bless this great country that we live in.